Who do you think's the story of this game that we're talking about when it comes to this Sunday night showdown?
I'm going to give you kind of like an oddball here. I'm going to go Zay Flowers. I like Zay Flowers for a third-year breakout.
This is going to sound like so much hate, and I swear it's not. Welcome back to the Warner Brothas Podcast. I'm Kyle, joined by Brandon Petty, joined by Timmy Gray. What's up, fellas? We're here. Week 1 picks. Can't wait to do this. There's actually some tricky games on this schedule. Week 1's always tricky in general, but I feel like we've got some great matchups, weird matchups. And if you heard us talking about Week 1 on our bets pod, our wagering pod that we just did, some favorable lines possibly for some divisional rivals. Fellas, how we doing?
Living a dream on this fine Tuesday.
Hell yeah. It feels weird to be doing picks on a Tuesday. I'd normally be opposed to it, but we got a game on Thursday. We got a game on Friday. And as we were talking before, there's no real major injuries heading into Sunday. So we shouldn't be too affected by any injuries or anything of that nature going into these picks. We've actually decided, Keenan's not here, so he'll find this out afterwards, but we've actually decided on a set amount that we're all going to pool in for the winner of the most wins on our weekly game picks. So I think he'll agree to it. Maybe next episode you can watch us all argue or agree to this pool. I won't say the amount. Maybe we will next time. Who knows? But fellas, should we just go in FanDuel order? Is there a game we want to start with? Obviously, we'll just start with Thursday and Friday. But as far as Sundays, do we have any favorites, or we just want to go in order?
I said just go in order.
Let's do it.
Slate order. Yeah.
Let's do it. So we got the Cowboys going to Philly. Ring night for the Philadelphia Eagles. Eagles are favored by 8.5. Petty, I'll start with you. What's your score? Who's the winner?
I'm taking Philly on that. I just think that Dallas's defense isn't going to be able to stop Philly. I think it's as simple as that. I do think it's going to be a high-scoring affair. I think Philly wins 35-21.
Tim, what you got?
Don't quite think it'll be that high. 2 weeks ago, before the Parsons trade, I would have taken the Eagles, no doubt. I am hammering the Eagles here. I think they win very convincingly. Won't have any sort of Super Bowl hangover for the first game, at least. I got it 27-17. It's going to be garbage time, too, for the Cowboys here. But, yeah, Philly by 10.
I'm with you guys. I actually have it as a closer game, though. I've got the Eagles winning 28-22, Cowboys backdoor cover. Moving to Friday, we've got the Chiefs and the Chargers playing Divisional Showdown, AFC West in Brazil. Chiefs are favored by 3 points. How do you guys feel about this game? I don't really have a lean either way. I'm kind of freestyling these picks. I was prepared to do these on Wednesday or Thursday, but I don't really know where I'm going here. How do y'all feel?
Yeah, I'm right there with you, kind of freestyling. I'm going to go with the Chiefs. This one kind of feels like it's 50-50 to me. I know the money line and everything might not show it. But I wouldn't be surprised if the Chargers came out on top. And I actually, no, I'm gonna go with the Chiefs. I'm gonna go with the Chiefs. I'm gonna go Kansas City 24-21.
This is the least confident I've felt about the Chiefs winning a game week 1 in quite some time. Last year they played Baltimore to open the season, or not to open the season, but open their season, and we got a great game. I was still confident that the Chiefs would win that game. I am less confident that they'll win this game. I'm still going to pick them, but it would not surprise me at all for the Chargers to win this one. But I'll keep it close, 21-16. Very close game. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in the same ballpark as you guys. Weirdly enough, I feel like I'll be more confident in the second matchup in the Chargers, just because I'm not really sure what that team looks like. I know they're missing their left tackle. Thing about this game, for that later game, this is technically a Chargers home game. So the Chargers, unfortunately, We'll get the Chiefs at Arrowhead later on in the season. So this is kind of a tough break for the Chargers if they lose this game. I'm rolling with the Chiefs, same ballpark as y'all. I'm going to have it a push with the line being at 3. I'm going to have it 23-20 Chiefs. Giants Commanders. As I was saying on the last podcast, divisional underdogs, whether it's home, whether it's away, seem to do well. They give you a weird line here at +5.5 for the Giants. Tim, how do you feel about your team going to Washington?
The Giants always play the Commanders pretty tough. And I think that this Giants defense is for real this year. So I could see this just being a very low-scoring game. So you couple the Giants defense getting better with their offense also getting better, with what I think the Commanders will take a little bit of a step back this year. And I got a really low-scoring Commanders W at 14-10.
14-10, that's a disgusting game.
Wow.
That's a Giants-Commanders game, though.
That is true. They live under 20.
Yeah.
They live at like max 21 in these games. That's true.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. I'm also going to go with the Commanders. I think it's going to be a little more high scoring than that. I'm actually going to go 24-17 for the Commanders.
Tim, man, if you're gonna go 14-10, you got to go with the Giants. I'm going with the Giants here. Actually, they're gonna upset the Commanders in Washington, technically in Maryland, I guess. We'll give it a score of 23-17. Next, we got Brandon. This is your team. We had Tim's team. Now we got Brandon's team. Panthers going to Jacksonville. Jacksonville's a 3.5-point favorite. How do you think this game goes, Brandon?
I mean, if I'm picking, I'm taking Jacksonville, obviously riding with the home team. I think it's actually going to be a close game, especially if Bryce Young plays like he did at the end of last season. I think this is the potential to be like a sneaky good offensive matchup. I don't think our defense is going to be that good. We all obviously agreed on one of the previous pods that Carolina probably wasn't going to have a good defense either. I think Jacksonville wins 28-24. But I wouldn't be surprised if Carolina wins.
I think Jacksonville comes out looking like a very good offense. Their defense, I don't think, will be enough to keep them as like a favorite to be a 10 or 12 win team or anything. But I think this offense is going to look really well first week, especially against Carolina. I'll take it 25-17. I think Carolina scores to end the game and make it a little bit closer, but I think the Jags will dominate offensively in this game.
I see this the same way as you, Brandon. I think we're going to get a slight shootout, which you don't see early in the season, but I think this is going to be one of the more entertaining week 1 games. I'm actually going to roll with Carolina 28-27. I think I had Jacksonville at 9 or 10 wins, so I do think they get the ball rolling once the season really starts getting the swing of things. But I think the Panthers, they need something good to happen. They have not, I don't know when the last time they had a week 1 win was. And they've got a pretty 50-50 schedule along the way. So I think this is one of their wins. Entertaining one. Ugly game that we talked about in the last podcast. This under is at 38.5. We got the Aaron Rodgers Bowl, right? We got the Steelers going to the Jets. Back to the scene of the crime where he tore his ACL, obviously, or tore his Achilles 2 years ago. And then all of last year you could consider a crime as far as Aaron Rodgers' Jets tenure. We got the Steelers favored by 2.5. Is that a 2 or a 3? That's a 2. 2.5. I feel like that's pretty favorable. Yes, it's going to be an ugly game. I'm just going to give you my score right now. We want to call it ugly. We're going to call it 24-12 Pittsburgh.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm looking at this right now. Like, I might. I mean, I think Pittsburgh wins. I think it's like a 17-14 game. Like, I don't think it's gonna. Maybe I'll go 2017. I'll give you 20-17. But I do think it's going to be an ugly game.
Right under there.
I think Aaron Glenn will get this defense rolling and look nice, but he won't get the offense looking too nice, so I'll take it 26-10. I think the Steelers just run away with it at the end.
I'm actually going to downgrade my score a little bit. I had a 24-12. Give me 20-12. Let's get a 32 total points going for this game. Hella ugly. Next, we've got the Raiders going to my New England Patriots. Patriots are favored by 2.5 points. Brandon alluded to it last podcast. He said he kind of liked this line for the Raiders. I agree. I agree so much so that I'm actually taking the Raiders over the Pats. Final score, we'll say 2017 field goal win. Actually, 2018 field goal win for the Raiders.
Yeah, I'm also going to roll with the Raiders on this one, strictly because of the fact that I think Geno probably feel more comfortable backing him versus Drake May, because Drake May is still relatively unknown, although I think Drake May could obviously be a better quarterback. I think the Raiders have a little bit better pieces on offense too. Brock Bowers, Jacoby Myers, Cooper, Deontay Thornton, Ashton Genty, obviously. I do think New England will be able to get a couple stops, though. I'm going to go with Las Vegas 21, New England 20.
I think the Raiders. Do you have the line on this? I think it was 5.5.
2.5.
2.5.
Pats 2.5.
A lot closer. I'm going to take the Patriots here, but I am going to take it a much lower scoring game. I think we do see not necessarily good defense, but offenses that are still trying to figure themselves out week one. So I'm going to take it 17-15, make it a decent little low scoring game against two Hall of Fame coaches.
For sure. Hall of Fame. Put it. Hey, I like it. You tell me we got a Hall of Fame coach. I'm with that. Pete for sure is a Hall of Famer. Next, we got Cardinals going to the Saints. Cardinals are favored by 6.5. I think they cover that. I'll let y'all go first, though. Tim, what you got?
Cardinals, they don't have to look great against this terrible defense and this terrible offense here, so I'll take the Cardinals to cover handsomely. I'll give it 24-10.
They could do like one trick play each drive and try to see what's going on with
It's like a high school game. Yeah.
Yeah, I like the Cardinals to cover too. I think it's going to be a pretty lopsided game. I think James Conner gets in the end zone a couple times. I think Marvin Harrison catches a touchdown in this as well too. Maybe even Trey McBride. I actually have the Cardinals. I have the Cardinals winning 28-14, so I have them covering very handsomely.
I'm right there with you. I got the Cardinals winning 27-10 over the Saints. Next, Bengals going to Cleveland to face the Browns. Bengals are only a 5.5 point favorite. I say only because 5.5 is just always a weird line, and the Browns obviously do not have the best of QBs at Joe Flacco. How do y'all feel about this game? Brandon, what do you think?
I think Cincinnati's going to vote race Cleveland. I really do. Like, I understand it's a divisional game and Cleveland's at home. I just don't. I mean, as bad as Cincinnati's defense is, like, I really just don't trust Cleveland's offense. Like, I don't know how effective Joe Flacco is going to be. Dude's like 45 now. I know all he can do is check down at this point, so that's probably going to be a lot of David Njoku and Jerry Jeudy. I'm going to take Cleveland, or not Cleveland, sorry. I'm going to take Cincinnati 31-21.
I'm in a very similar boat here. We've never seen Cincinnati start very strong, but it's usually because Joe Burrow has never attended any sort of OTAs or minicamp or anything like that before. He's always had some sort of injury. He was there this year. He played preseason quite a bit this year. I think they're going to be in lockstep all on offense this year. So give it to me 28-13, a very comfortable win for the Bengals.
Yeah, I've got the Bengals winning. However, the offensive line is still questionable. The strength of the Browns would be their defensive line, their defense in general. And let's be real, they're going to be fired up in week one at home. I think this is a competitive game. I'm going to say something like 26-21, Bengals. Then I like this matchup. this is going to have a lot to do with how Keenan and Tim and then myself and Brandon think both of these teams are really going to do this season. It's the Dolphins going to Indy to face the Colts. Colts are actually a 1.5 point favorite. Did not realize that. I'm just going to say right now, I love the Dolphins there. I think whatever you get out of Daniel Jones, it'll be better in the later weeks of the season. If that's possible. But I do think he's going to do okay in this offense. I don't think he's actually going to be trash. But I do like the Dolphins in this game. If I can give you a score, maybe 27-20, we'll say Dolphins win that. So big cover for them at plus 1.5.
So I'm actually going to go with the Indianapolis Colts here. I believe I had them at 5. I think I had them at 5 wins this season. It's more so with the Colts being at home, and the fact that I trust the Colts defense a lot more than what I would Miami's defense.
True.
I trust their defense to get a couple stops. I don't think their offense really has to be spectacular. With that being said, I think it's a big Jonathan Taylor game. I don't think Miami's really going to be able to stop him.
It's fair.
And honestly, too, like I'm really not just comfortable taking Miami right now. I don't know what the offense is going to look like. Tyreek's been banged up. Devon Achane's been banged up. So for that, I'm going to take the Colts. I think this is going to be like a 21-20 game. I think if Indy wins, it's going to be by like a point or two.
I agree. I'm also going to take Indy here. I'll actually keep it in that same realm, 20-17. I think if any team blows any team out, it is the Dolphins blowing the Colts out. I don't see a double-digit point win for the Colts in this, but I think the Colts right now are just a more complete team because they have a defense. So there you go.
Sure. This is actually one of my favorite games of the week. NFC South battle. We got the Buccaneers going to the Falcons. Bucs are favored by 2.5 on the road. How do y'all feel about this game? Petty, we'll start with you.
So I know I picked Tampa Bay to win this division. I had Tampa Bay at 13-4, the number 2 seed in the NFC. I'm actually going to ride with the Falcons on this one. I think the Falcons jump out to a quick start. I think the Falcons are easily as talented as Tampa Bay. I think the Falcons probably have a better defense than what Tampa does. I like a lot of their players on defense. Jalen Walker, Jesse Bates, AJ Terrell. I think they'll be ready to go. I think they'll be ready to play. This was actually one of the losses that I had for Tampa Bay. I actually had them splitting this, so I'm going with the Falcons. I think this was actually going to be a very high-scoring game. I think it's going to be a 31-28 game.
Last year, the Bucs could not beat the Falcons. It just never worked that way. They played Kirk both times, and Kirk was just lights out against them for whatever reason. Baker's going to get his revenge this year. He's going to go 2-0 against the Falcons this year. Give me the Bucs to start. I'll take it 27-22. I think it is still a good game, and I think there is still a lot of promise from the Falcons in this game. I just think the Bucs are ready for it, and they'll be ready for them week 1.
Yeah, we got 2 classics, especially that first game. I believe it was on Thursday night between these 2 teams. Monster offensive shootouts. I don't see why we wouldn't get a shootout here, especially in a dome. If Penix does win this game against a division rival, against what we all think is the best team in the division, that's a big boy win right there. And that almost, I don't want to say cements you for the playoffs because you got 16 more weeks, but it puts you in a very good position, obviously, to at least get to 9 wins, 10 wins. I'm struggling with this game. Brandon had it 31-28. I'm in that ballpark too. I'll say 32-27 just to be different. I'm going to say the Bucs though. The Bucs just seem so ready. They're not all the way healthy yet, but like Tim said, it doesn't seem like they would lose 3 straight to the Falcons. So maybe the Falcons win at Tampa later on in the year, but I'm going to roll with the Bucs here.
That's the only reason that I'm going with Atlanta with this, real quick, is just because of the health of Tampa. And I just think too, like I think I think Atlanta's going to be good enough to steal one. I mean, I think Tampa Bay beats them whenever they're at home.
And they're a home dog. You know what? I'm going to flip. Yeah, I'm going to flip. Let's take that same score. We'll flip it. We're going to go Falcons. Just because I can also see myself betting the Falcons on Sunday. Let's keep it in the same vein, then, right? So next we got the Titans going to the Broncos. Broncos are favored by 7.5. Very tough place to play in Denver. Rookie QB and Cam Ward making his first start in Denver, obviously. Tim, how do you feel about this game?
We might see a couple good plays from Cam, but I think this defense for Denver is going to be potentially the number one defense. I got him top 3, no doubt. So, a pretty tough debut for him here. I'll take it 24-10. I think the Titans are going to look a little stagnant on offense, but it's just because they're playing Denver. They will have better games later on.
Yeah, I'm with Timmy on that one. I think Tennessee's going to be able to run the ball, but I really think they're going to have difficulty pushing the ball downfield. I'm assuming Pat Surtain's going to be shadowing Connor Ridley this game, which means that the secondary pieces of this offense are going to have to step up. I think Denver's defense is just going to be too big of a match for Cam Ward in Tennessee. I had Denver winning this game 27-17.
Yeah, I've got Denver 27-13. I think it's an ugly start for Cam Ward. And Broncos are one of my dark horse Super Bowl teams. I actually had them winning the division, so I think Denver's going to be rearing to go for this game for sure. Next, we got the Niners going to Seattle to face the Seahawks. They are 2.5-point favorite. Very intriguing game for me. You got McCaffrey fully making a comeback. We haven't heard anything as far as a setback for him through training camp, through preseason. Going to one of the toughest places to play in the NFL in Seattle. But you're also got Sam Darnold making his first start. Brand new looking Seattle Seahawks team, honestly. Like this team looks a lot different than last year's iteration. Tricky game for me here as well. How do y'all feel?
I do think it's a little tricky because it's divisional. I do think that San Francisco gets the win, just because I'm more confident in Brock Purdy and company versus Sam Darnold. I mean, we really don't know what Sam Darnold's going to look like. We don't know what version we're going to get of him. Is he going to be as good as what he was with Kevin O'Connell last season, or are we getting something close to like Carolina and New York? I also have questions about their offense. I think they have good pieces. It's just more so the fit. I'm going to go with the 49ers here. I just think it's going to be a close game. I think it's going to be a 23-20 game.
I think San Francisco comes out week 1 and they show you guys that they are legit this year. CMC healthy, even without Ayuk, without Debo there. I think they'll still look great. I'm taking them 34-20. I think they boat race.
Damn. You know what? If this game was in San Francisco, I think I'd be more in line with Tim. I think it would be a light show on the Niners' part. The fact that it's in Seattle, the fact that Seattle has a good defense too, and it is, of course, a divisional game, I think it'll be a little more competitive. I do think the Niners ultimately win the game. And the Niners, their defense should be improved, right? And if they can give Sam Darnold any sort of problems, there is a world where it gets ugly, like Tim says. I do think it'll be slightly more competitive. I got it 26-18, Niners. And then this is probably the best game, definitely the best game of the 4 o'clock window. Lions going to the Packers. I'll repeat this. I said this last episode. I had no idea this was a week 1 game. I don't know how I missed that, but did I say Dallas, by the way? Detroit going to Green Bay. Packers are a 2.5-point favorite. This is going to be an incredible game. I can't wait to see how the Lions respond, losing both of their coordinators. Obviously, we've got Micah Parsons now in the Packers. That's a storyline. This is going to be a fantastic game. Once again, Packers by 2.5 in this game. You're over-under at 47.5. Tim, how do you feel about this divisional matchup?
I think this, even if Detroit isn't, that they're not very deep on defense. We saw that last year. A few guys get hurt and they're kind of struggling for players. I still think they're going to play very well defensively, and I think that's what we'll see here. I do lean the Packers here. I like the Packers. Just give Micah his cortisone shot and he's good to go. So I'll take it a little bit of the mid-scoring range here. I'm going to go 24-10. I think it's a really brutal game, though, for them. I think it's going to be a lot of defensive plays.
24-10. Damn.
Sorry, 24-20. I don't know why I said
It's like, damn, 24-10.
No. 24-20.
He's like, damn, Timmy.
I said mid-scoring and then gave a team 10 points.
I was like, you said a lot to say the Lions are going to lose by double digits. Like, that's a lot of red zone interceptions there.
I would say on this one, I'm actually 50-50 on this game. This honestly is probably one of those games that if I do bet it, I'm probably going to flip-flop all the way until Sunday. Right now, I am going to go with Green Bay with them being the home team. In these 50-50 games, I tend to lean with the home team. I think it's going to be a 27-24 game. I trust Green Bay's defense a little bit more than what I trust Detroit's, especially now that Micah Parsons is there. And honestly, too, I like the Packers' offense to get it done. I think Josh Jacobs has a big day. I think Matthew Golden has a pretty decent debut. But this is also one of the ones that if Detroit wins, that I wouldn't be shocked at all. I'd be like, okay, yeah, I could definitely see that happening.
Yeah, this one's giving me trouble. It's especially giving me trouble because when they meet each other later in the season in Detroit, I think the Packers will be a much better team than whatever they are now. That being said, the Lions should be a much better team than what they are now, given that they have two new coordinators, given that there's going to be a lot of change. Their defense is healthier, right? So that's a plus for them already going into week one. I think what's giving me trouble here, though, is the Lions have a super tough schedule, right? So even if they were to lose this game, and yeah, they get the Packers later in the season, their schedule's tough enough to, I don't know when they play. But let's say it's in November. They seem to get that Thanksgiving slot quite a bit. Let's say it's in November. Lions could be like 3-6 at that point or something like that, you know, where their season's just kind of in shambles. I don't think it will necessarily be the case, but it seems like this game's more important to Detroit than it is the Packers. For that reason, I'm going to roll with Detroit 23-17. I do think the Packers are the better team right now, but I'm still rolling with Detroit, defying the odds. Two new coordinators, be damned. I think they still win.
They have a lot of talent, so
they do.
Be surprising.
They do. They've definitely got enough talent to win, and I don't know. I feel like this is like a prove it season for Dan Campbell. Not that his season or his job's going to be on the line at all, but like your two top coordinators are gone. They did amazing things for your team. Are you one of those upper echelon coaches where we're winning 10 games no matter what? We're in the hunt no matter what. So Lions, I'm super intrigued by this season. Intriguing matchup in its own right here. AFC South versus NFC West. Texans going to LA. They're a 3-point underdog to the Rams here. How do you feel about this game, Patty? You're big on the Rams.
I am. I'm big on the Rams. This is actually another one that I'm kind of like 50-50 on. I see a clear path for the Texans to win. I really do. I think this is going to be a high-scoring game, like we talked about last episode. I think this is an over 44 points. I believe the line was set at. I was actually going to go with the Texans because of Stafford, but I'm confident. I mean, this is one of my teams this year. I'm confident in Stafford's health. I like everything that's around him. I love their defense. There's two good. I mean, Houston has a great defense too. I'm actually going to go with the Rams with this one, mainly because of the running game. I think Kyren Williams, maybe Blake Corum, I think they can get it done on the ground. Maybe even play keep away a little bit for Houston. I actually have the Rams winning 28-24, but this is also another game where if Houston wins, like I would not be surprised because I think they have the talent on offense and defense to do it.
Definitely taking LA here, but I am kind of the opposite of Brandon here. I think this will be a lower scoring game. I think with Stafford missing a lot of this offseason right now, they're going to come in and they might be sluggish week one. And I think the Texans defense or offense will just automatically look sluggish because it's kind of just CJ Stroud and Nico, and that's kind of it, unless you're banking on rookies to produce here. So I like the Rams defense. I like the Texans defense. So those coming together, give it to me 14-13 LA.
Damn.
What kind of shit is that? 14-13.
That's an ugly ass game.
I'm kind of in line with Tim. I mean, that's more of a Jets Steelers score. I do think this is going to be low scoring. We talk about the Bengals starting slow. The Rams are a slow starter too. Like you see a lot of their early games being ugly, and I think the Texans are tailor made for that type of matchup, especially early on. Actually, got the Texans winning 21-17. I think they edge the Rams out here in this game. Sunday night, Ravens at Bills. This is the game of the week. It's almost kind of unfortunate we get this week one, but at the same time, I think we're getting fireworks no matter what. Bills are favored by 1.5. Money line's even on them, 108 each side, over under 50.5. I've said this prior, so I'll just go ahead and say it right now. I think the Ravens get revenge. I think this is going to be a fantastic game. You've heard me talk about the Bills. And really, I mean, this game could decide the 1 seed, essentially, depending on how you feel about the Ravens. I cannot wait to see this battle of the two MVPs last year, the year before, 1 and 2 last year. Could be 1 and 2 this year, depending on how you feel about other QBs in the league. I'm going to roll with the Ravens. We will say 25-22. Field goal game. New kicker, whoever the new kicker is, he's getting the game-winning field goal, avenging the goal of Justin.
Tyler Luke, the rookie.
Stay out of the massage parlors, boy.
Yeah, no massages for you, boss man. I'm actually going to agree with you on that, Kyle. This is I think this is the toughest game to pick because both teams are outstanding. I do like Baltimore to get revenge from that divisional loss last season in the playoffs. Also, I trust their defense a little bit more to make a couple plays, especially with the healthy Jair Alexander, especially the healthy Marlon Humphrey and company. I think Baltimore will have a top 3 defensive unit this season. I think this is going to be a very close back and forth game all night long. And I actually think it comes down to the Ravens getting the ball in the last possession. I'm going to go 30-27 Baltimore.
Looks like we're taking Baltimore across the board here. I think you guys have kind of outlined it. It's a revenge game, 2 juggernauts. Could divide the 1 seed. It's going to be a very, very good game. Hopefully it's like an amazing start to the season. Couldn't have thought of a better Sunday night football game. Maybe if this game was on Thursday, that might have been a better start. But still, I'm going to take it Baltimore 30 to Bills 25.
There we go. Yeah, this will probably release later on, actually. So they'll probably actually hear our AFC and NFC North predictions after this. But, I almost think the Bills, even if they lose this game, I feel like they could rattle off like 9 straight if need be. Honestly,
yeah, I was going to say 10 straight when their division, it's, yeah, exactly.
And then we saw last year, like one thing that sticks out to me of Ravens at Chiefs on that Thursday night last year, they let Lamar run crazy in week 1. Like a ton of design runs, like more so than what you'd get even in a week 7 game. So I think we're going to see a lot of Lamar and Derrick Henry in that whole combo. I think the Ravens are, despite whatever last year's result was, Ravens are a perfect matchup for the Bills. Like they're a perfect foil for the Bills. They should be able to run down their throat. I don't know, man. I said, and I picked it, like I scored it under 50.5. I mean, there's a world where the Ravens kind of go crazy on them, So I
think there's a world where it's a 42-35 game, like something like that, something ridiculous. Like I could see it just going over, period, because of both teams.
Who do you think we come in Monday, Tuesday, whatever? Who do you think's the story of this game that we're talking about when it comes to this Sunday night showdown?
I'm going to give you kind of like an oddball here. I'm going to go Zay Flowers. I like Zay Flowers for a 3rd-year breakout. I think this is kind of finally the year that he kind of steps up and turns into the number 1 target that Lamar kind of needs.
I'm going to give you 2. I'll say Derrick Henry. I think he's still going to be great. And then the opposite reason, give me Tyler Bass. Let him miss a couple field goals, and this would have been a completely different game type deal. So, yeah.
I'm with you on Derrick Henry. I told you the rookie kicker, he's going to make the game-winning kick. But I actually think Josh Allen's going to kill it. Like, win or lose, I think Josh Allen's going to be like, okay, that's why he was the MVP last year type of game. So I could see a bona fide QB showdown, though I think they're going to lean on Derrick Henry quite a bit. And if that Buffalo Bills defense isn't up to snuff, especially late, like if the Ravens are up late at all and they just feed the ball to Henry and you got Lamar running on the option, could get scary as far as rushing yards wise. Any more comments in this game? Or you guys want to go to Monday night?
Give me
So real quick, go ahead, Timmy.
Give me 400 total rushing yards in this game.
Okay. All right. Between the two teams.
Correct.
Okay.
Between both teams.
Okay.
I could see that. So ESPN, according to their I think it's FPI analytics or whatever, they have listed damn near a 50-50 split. ESPN bet right now actually has dead even for both of them. They have Buffalo as a -1.5 favorite.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, the sports books. I mean, it kind of seems like nobody really has an idea of who's going to win this game. Yeah, I'm expecting a very good game. I think it's going to be a hell of a nightcap.
I can't wait. Before we get to this Monday night, I've been meaning to bring this up. For some reason, I looked ahead about a week or two ago. I was looking at week 4. I really don't even remember the reason why. Week 4 is the first week we got like one of the London games. Front to back, though, from that London game all the way to the Monday night, like it's a beautiful schedule. Like there's head-to-head matchups all around that are like divisional matchups. Like there's just a ton of good matchups that entire Sunday into the Monday. I think that Thursday night's a great game too. It's like one of the best weeks I've seen, just period. I just remember looking at it being like, damn, like that's a beautiful football weekend. So I'm sure there'll be more weeks towards the end, but that one stuck out to me. Didn't mean to bring that up. Just came to me now. So there we go. We got the Vikings going to Chicago on Monday night. Chicago is actually a 1.5 point underdog here. That's interesting to me. Over under 44.5. Brandon, I'll let you go with this one because you kind of bigged up JJ McCarthy on our wagering podcast barely. So how do you feel like his career starts here?
I think it starts off on the right foot. Like I said last episode, I'm super high on JJ McCarthy. I feel like I'm higher than a lot of people. I'm also lower on Caleb Williams than a lot of other people.
It's true.
We got a battle of sophomore quarterbacks here. Technically a rookie for JJ McCarthy.
Redshirt freshman and JJ McCarthy.
Yeah, there you go. Redshirt freshman. I love Chicago's talent. I just think it's going to take them a little while to kind of get up to speed with Ben Johnson's offense.
True.
I just think there's so many nuances, and I think they're probably still trying to figure out personnel, like who's the Jameson Williams, who's the Amon-Ra St. Brown. Like people were saying, oh, it's DJ Moore, and now people are like, oh, it's not DJ Moore. So, like I think it could take them 2 or 3 games to get up to speed. I just trust Kevin O'Connell more. I really do. Like he does it with subpar quarterbacks. I mean, he's done it with Nick Mullins. He's done it with Josh Dobbs. He did it with Sam Darnold last year, turned him into a franchise quarterback, if you want to go there. I think J.J. McCarthy's got everything he needs there. Like I said, top 5 offensive line, love the defense. I have the Vikings winning by a touchdown, 27-20.
I like it.
I agree with a lot of what Brandon just said. I think week 1 will not be the week that the Bears offense is rolling. I do think it will become a rolling machine later on, but not week 1. So I'm going to roll with Minnesota as well. Overtime game. Give it to me 23-20. Vikings win.
I like it. I think the Vikings are very much going to be a make or break team for people who either have a certain team having success in the NFC North, or if you bet certain teams in the NFC North, just in the NFC in general, I think the Vikings are going to be a make or break team. I've got the Vikings losing this game. I think it's going to be an ugly game. I think it's going to be a 22-17 win for the Bears. I probably have the Vikings doing a little less successful, especially with J.J. McCarthy at the helm. And that's a big reason why I'm picking against them in week 1. This is J.J. McCarthy's first start in essentially 2 years. But O'Connell and that coaching staff are so damn good. Like, you have no reason to think they're not at least going to get to 7 or 8. If you think they can get to 7 or 8, why can't they steal a divisional game here or there? Why can't they get to 9? So I said about the Lions, but the Vikings are right there too. Really, this entire NFC North, I am fascinated by. I cannot wait to see how all 4 of these teams do. I cannot wait for all 4 of their matchups. Y'all heard me talk about last year how I'd pay for a Sunday ticket if it was just the AFC North. That's how I feel about the NFC North this season. So can't wait to see. I think it'll be an ugly game overall. Like I said, 22-17, but entertaining nonetheless. Hopefully we get that OT game to, end our NFL week 1. So that'd be great. Fellas, any final thoughts before we sign off here?
I look forward to a hell of an open weekend for NFL football. I don't know about y'all, but I am excited. I will be up Sunday morning, probably 8:30, doing my fantasy football research for the weekend games. Obviously, I'll be doing it Thursday as well. I have my cup of coffee, my breakfast, and then I'll be getting ready to go up to the clubhouse over here in Jacksonville, watch some Sunday Ticket, have a couple of brewskis, and have a day.
What's the breakfast look like? What's the beer of choice?
Breakfast, opening weekend for NFL football, you got to go big or go home. I'm thinking like pancakes, eggs, sausage. I might throw bacon on there too. I might have both proteins.
Got to go with it.
Yeah, a couple of OJ, and some coffee. Some coffee, either black or have the pumpkin spice variety. Feeling festive around here, maybe. And then for beer, probably with a nice light beer, maybe a Coors Light.
Okay. All right.
If not, then I'll probably be drinking Jameson and ginger ale or Crown Peach and cranberry. Those are so kind of depends how I'm feeling whenever I wake up. Depends if there's a brisk in the air or not.
Solid choices. Shouts to the Rocky Mountains with the Coors Light too. Solid choices. Tim, any week 1 or any game day rituals for you?
No game day rituals, no nothing. I'm just really happy this year that we get a Thursday, Friday, Sunday, Monday. I think spreading the football out, we don't just get the normal 3 days. We get an extra day. That's going to be great. If you didn't know, the Chargers Chiefs game is free to stream on YouTube this year. First time they've ever done that. So that's kind of dope. I think they'll get a lot of good viewership from that. That's definitely where I'm going to be watching it because YouTube is the easiest damn platform to use. Every other platform's confusing as hell sometimes. So
True that. Yeah, I very much like the Thursday, Friday, like having the Brazil edition. I don't feel it necessary to be in Brazil, but if we're going to get it every year, sure. Hopefully the field's intact because that kind of ruined and threw off Jordan Love's season last year. So hopefully we're playing on a good field over there. But yeah, no, Thursday, Friday, it's going to be amazing. And then Sunday, that's like Christmas morning for football fans, honestly. Like, I can't wait. I'll probably be up cooking up some parlays, cooking up some money lines, like cooking all that up early. Getting my bum ass fantasy teams intact. I'll probably spend 30 minutes doing that. So not sure what the food lineup is. Usually no drinking on Sundays though, for me, honestly. It's very rare that I drink on a football Sunday. More often, it'd be more likely on like a Saturday night game or a playoff game, but Sundays, not much drinking, but plenty of food. Not sure what the food spread's going to be though. Fellas, great talking NFL once again. Many more weeks ahead to talk NFL. Cannot wait to get these picks. Cannot wait to present Keenan with our wager that we have going forward. And you know what sucks about this is before we know it, we'll be in like week 14 and it'll feel like a blink of an eye. That's the only thing I hate about football season. It's like before you know it, you're in December.
Goes on so quick.
Does go by. But can't wait. Last question, really last question though. Monday, Tuesday, whatever. What do you think is going to be the dominating storyline coming out?
Ooh. I'll give you kind of like a cop out here. I really because it's something I really do believe. I think it's going to be just a bunch of like good close games. I think the storyline Tuesday is just like how it was one of the better opening weekends of football in recent memory, and how pretty much every game was competitive, because I really do think that all of them could be competitive besides the Cardinals Saints game. I think that would be the main storyline. Obviously, you might have a couple breakouts, but it's kind of really hard to pencil who that's going to be. But I'll just go with that. Kind of take the safe way.
I think we're going to get a lot of negative press about Jerry Jones. They're going to be asking, how are those 2 first-round picks going to fit into your starting lineup this year? Oh, wait, they're not. And I think Micah's going to have a good game. So I think it's going to be heavy on Micah succeeding and the Cowboys not succeeding.
Let Micah have like a 2.5, 3 sack game.
And a forced fumble or
happens.
something.
Oh,
yeah.
God.
Right, yeah. And a Packers win, they're going to react like it was a 7-sack game.
Exactly.
Honestly. So I could definitely see a world where that happens. I'm kind of playing it safe here too, like Brandon. I think, whatever happens in that Sunday night game with Baltimore and Buffalo, there's going to be massive overreaction to that. Like, you're going to get takes out of that. That's almost like a playoff game coming out of that game. I can't wait. Again, Sunday's going to be like Christmas morning. Listen, this was the Warner Brothas Podcast. Kyle, Timmy, Brandon, we will be back very soon. We've got a slew of episodes coming out right before kickoff on Thursday. So be on the lookout for that. YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, all that. Like, subscribe, comment. We'll be back. Peace.